their reintegration, saying the move is necessary to strengthen national security and restore public confidence in the justice system. Also, the ICPC has also arrested Professor Bello Abubakar, personal physician to former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, over allegations that a scheduled medical consultation was used to facilitate an unauthorized political meeting. The commission alleges the doctor made false statements regarding the circumstances surrounding the visit while investigations continue. And on the international scene, tensions in the Middle East have escalated sharply as the United States and Iran exchanged military strikes following Iranian attacks on 3 commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. The developments have heightened concerns over regional security, global oil supplies, and the safety of one of the world's busiest shipping routes. Now let's move on to business news with Karima Hassan. Hello, Karima.
Good day and welcome to S24 Business News. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, has signed 6 major gas agreements aimed at boosting Nigeria's energy security and supporting industrial growth. The deal are expected to expand domestic gas supply, improve infrastructure, and support cleaner energy for industries and power generation under the federal government's Decade of Gas initiative. Still in Nigeria, the Debt Management Office has opened subscriptions for the July 2026 federal government savings bond, offering return of up to 15.716% per annum. Subscription closes on July 10th, with successful investors expected to receive infrastructure, agriculture, industry, and private sector growth across West Africa. The move is expected to strengthen regional economic development and create more investment opportunities. And now to the global market. The United States has revoked a waiver that allowed Iranian oil sales following attacks on the commercial tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. The decision has increased tension in the Middle East and raised concerns over global oil supplies, pushing crude oil prices higher. And that's all on S24 Business News. Up next is newspaper review coming up to you after the break. I am Karima Hassan. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back from that business update. Thank you so much, Karima. And up to our next segment, the newspaper review. And I'll be doing this with my colleague here, Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Zainab.
Good to see you in the studio today.
Same here.
So, as usual, we're here to talk about the headlines making the rounds. And we'll be starting with the Daily Times front page that says, stop rehabilitating insurgents, integrating them into military, Senate cautious federal government. Not like we actually... Okay, let me not speak for so many people. Let me speak for myself. Not like we actually trust the Senate conviction about a particular topic, but most times, even when these people, we don't want to say they're selfish or not, we want to look at what they're actually fighting for. And before this headline, so many people have been talking about why, citizens have been asking why criminals should be rehabilitated instead of giving adequate punishment. Do you think a criminal can be rehabilitated and come back into the person the society expects them to be?
I think it is very dicey. I think for me personally, I have never been in support of the rehabilitation program from when it started from 2016, right? It's about 10 years now, right? So because with this rehabilitation program, it begs the question about fairness and justice. You see, justice must have two faces, accountability for the offenders and healing for the victim. Now, to me, this program contradicts justice. You have people who have committed treasonous crime, against the nation, not just against the people that they committed that crime. So this is a national crime, right? And then you have the government funding a program that rehabilitates them, give them vocational trainings, give them incentives, and then rehabilitate them back into the community, this is society. Then you have the victims who have barely been able to put their life back together. A lot of victims are still being displaced, right? their houses, everything is burned down. Many of them are still traumatized. So it begs the question of fairness and justice, and ethically, how is this?
You know, Sarah, one statement you mentioned there hits me a lot when you said accountability and, you know, healing. We don't have that in Nigeria, because when you are trying to rehabilitate people who have done something, they've hurt some people in a way that have changed their life forever, and they see those criminals roaming about in the name of rehabilitation. Where do you think we're going as a nation? Because I think it's from the case of, you know, coming to negotiate with bandits. We've talked about are we legalizing the business of banditry in Nigeria?
You see, if you even look at it, how has this rehabilitation process, how successful has it been? We do not have...
How authentic is it?
Yeah, and we do not have a comprehensive, independently derived data to show the success of those who have been rehabilitated after the program. If you check for information online, you get to see people are saying, oh, this number of people have graduated from the program. Where is the record that shows along the years of those that have graduated from this program? How have there been? How many people went back into violence? How many people have successfully been integrated into the society as law-abiding citizens? We do not have such independently acquired data. So we can't really tell how successful this program is. Thereby, it makes it kind of redundant. You understand? Nigerians will question it, obviously.
You know, I have two things to say right now. I think, you know, when you create a sustainable whatever in Nigeria, it is either some people are trying to, you know, benefit from it. So that can account for the redundancy, why we don't even have an account for the number of people that are rehabilitated. That's number one. Number two, in order for us not to be biased, there are also people that are saying that, okay, rehabilitation might be the best for people that, you know, want to stop this criminal act. But as little as it is, because I've had a colleague who talked to me about some of these bandits, some of the members were actually forced into your, blackmailed into doing this. So maybe rehabilitation, but how are we sure that that is going to end the continuity of banditry?
Also, we, as I said about, you know, data, the government have to make decisions with data backed. Do you understand? We don't just move things by emotion. For running a program, we should have data for it. We are not saying that there might not be people who have successfully been in, but I feel like at this point, we do not need the rehabilitation. Should go on after we have success tackled insecurity. Then we can now say, okay,
It's interesting to know that some people in this rehabilitation center might even be the people, you know, passing much information to the people outside.
And you could see what is being happening. We have lots of killings with major generals, retired major generals are being targeted, you know, and that begs the question. We do not know where these leaks are coming from, and you're rehabilitating people back into the army.
For banditry and all that, a criminal to me is always a criminal, whether data or no data. I don't think I'm supporting the rehabilitation of criminals who have killed people, who have, you know, put children life at stake, stop education and make, you know, the society looking like a living hell. So I don't think rehabilitation.
I think the government needs to have a stand on how it wants to solve insurgency. I think the government cannot talk from two mouths, you know. If you have a stand that you really want to solve this thing, you cannot now go back and say, oh, let us forgive these people. Forgiveness is not on the government.
This is not. Do
you understand?
A case of forgiving.
Yes.
I think as reporters, as journalists, journalists should now stop using the word fight against terrorism. I do not think Nigerians are actually fighting against terrorism. I cannot see any fight. I think we're just, you know, trying to, you know, rob the stages. Like, we are not trying to do anything.
And let's talk even
we're just trying to cajole the situation.
How have this reduced insurgency? This is 10 years now. This is 2026. How have we, you know, reduced? Have we said, okay, because we have been running this program, a lot of people, have stopped. But you could see that right now across the geopolitical zones, crises have been arising more.
Yes.
So we could see that
from northern states, now we have the southern states, and we have other
the West also, right, recently
experiencing
this.
So if we're doing something over and over again and we're not seeing the proposed result,
yes,
I think we should look for another.
We can revisit this as a nation after we have successfully overpowered insurgency and tackled insurgency.
Yes, Sarah. So let's move quickly to our final headline. And this is on the Punch front page. It says Tinubu orders 30-day ICPC probe. Senate rejects blame. The issue I have with headlines like this, or let me not say the headline, the person is just trying to pass the message, is where were the checks and balances when this was going off? So many people in person might have bribed his or her way to that position.
Of course. I was this yesterday with Hadiza, and I categorically told her that this goes beyond one person and his family committing a crime. This is a national interest case because it cuts across different agencies. And we talked yesterday about accountability and communication, right? So for the presidency aspect, this is a good development because ICPC should have been involved from the onset of this crime. So let's see where the investigation is going after 30 days. But mine is that after the investigation, the results of that investigation must be made public. And Nigerians should determine if they are satisfied or not.
Like that, because I feel like the reason why this is, they say every day for the thief, one day for the owner. I feel like maybe this person did not follow the due process, and that is why his hands were caught in it. So many of these would have been happening.
And this investigation should lead. How many more agencies are there that are not approved?
So let's see how it unfolds. When you say that the investigation, actually, in Nigerians, we don't get to the bottom of things. You just see the peripheral, conversation. Oh, this is happening. This person have done this, but it's the mode of confidence coming from this person saying that he's ready to bring out any document in order to defend himself. It shows that he's not ready to back down. As it is now, we should still be saying allegedly.
Allegedly, of course. Of course. I mean, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Right.
So it's look almost like we are not going to get to the bottom of this, because if this person is confidently saying that, oh, I have this document, definitely he has people back.
Let's also talk about the Senate saying that they are not to be blamed for this and all of that. The question is not were they involved in establishing this agency or not. That's not the question Nigerians are asking. Nigerians are asking that you approved a budget for this. You're saying you're not aware. I mean, come on, what happened to the process?
It's our level
this
of
is
not
over $1 billion naira we're talking about.
The unaccountability that exists in Nigeria. It is possible that they were not aware.
So it still falls under negligence, you understand? Knowingly or unknowingly, right? You aided or abetted in this. A lot of agencies are involved in this. So
has to do with the level of priority. Because all of these are not even actually their business. Because you see things on paper. That is one thing about Nigeria. When we see headlines on paper, it makes you believe, oh, they're actually ready to tackle these things. But the truth is, this is not even a priority for the people in the Senate. When it comes to budget friendly cases like approving facilities for them, cars for them, buildings for them, that is when you see them
to approve a lot of budgets.
That's when you see them coming out all aggressive about it. But in cases like this, things that do not really affect them are not really a priority.
But this is a very sensitive case, and also, as I said, we should wait till 30 days and see what the outcome, would be.
If they're going to get to the bottom of this, even without getting to 30 days, this should be done. It's not even.
And my question, as I asked yesterday, is how many other agencies have been called? How many public officials have been called in for questioning?
And nothing happened. So
we have not heard of even them being called in for questioning.
It's like a case of when you don't follow the bandwagon, at some point you are trying to, be stubborn. They decide to bring your case out and you look like...
but this case shows the decay in the government of Nigeria. There's so much decay, there's so much corruption, and we should deep dive into it. I don't think Nigeria should let go of whatever result comes in.
Starting from the first headline, when it comes to rehabilitation, And the second headline, I would like to see that, when you don't punish the offenders, you should have no guarantee that those kind of crimes are going to ever end. If we don't see the bottom of this, if we don't see criminals going to jail or being, reprimanded for what they have done, Nigerians should not think we're even ready to fight any battle. We are not fighting any battle. We're just trying to, pamper our situation.
And as I said, in this case, for this case with the ICPC investigation, I personally feel like many people should be suspended until investigation is completed. But that is not. We have not even heard of anybody being called for questioning.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. It's been an interesting conversation with you.
Thank you for having me.
Let's see how this unfolds. Let's see criminals being reprimanded for their offense, and then we will know that change have started in Nigeria. Please, let's go for a break, and when we return, we'll be going for S24 reports.
As Nigeria continues to grapple with a range of security challenges, from banditry and kidnapping to terrorism, cybercrime, and attacks on critical infrastructure, stakeholders are calling for a shift from conventional security approaches to technology and intelligence-driven protection systems. While the country has an estimated 500,000 active security personnel across the military, police, and other security agencies, experts say the figure is inadequate to effectively respond to the country's increasingly complex security threats. They argue that stronger collaboration with the private security sector, which often serves as the first line of defense in residential estates, businesses, schools, and other critical facilities, is essential to strengthening national security. It is against this backdrop that security practitioners, policymakers, academics, and technology experts gathered in Abuja for the Nigeria Private Security Development Summit to explore innovative strategies for improving security across the country. Speaking at the summit, the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Matawalle, who was represented, said Nigeria must transition from manpower-driven security models to intelligence-led operations enhanced by technology and stronger inter-agency collaboration to effectively tackle the asymmetric threats.
National security today extends beyond territorial defense. And we all know that without security, there can be no peace or any meaningful investment or development. Consequently, there can be no sustainable growth. I want to say that security, therefore, remains a critical cornerstone for our national development. Technology must therefore necessarily operate within legal, ethical, and human rights frameworks.
Organizers say the summit is designed to deepen collaboration between public and private security actors while encouraging the adoption of intelligence-driven solutions to combat emerging security threats.
We to complement what the federal government is doing, and I must say I commend the president, the current president of Nigeria, and the renewed hope agenda, which encompasses security. We can see the effort the government has put in. We can also see the effort our gallant soldiers and our gallant military people and also the police have also put in. So now it is time for every Nigerian to come and support.
Intelligent-driven and tools is what is needed at this point in time. Gone are those days when you just deploy cards without the requisite tools to be able to perform those responsibilities. Not when we are having issues like issues you need to deal with AI enables. With this kind of training, we expose managers, practitioners to proper use of these tools.
The one-day summit themed Reimagining Private Security in Nigeria from Manpower to Intelligence-Driven Protection featured keynote presentations and panel discussions focused on building a more resilient, innovative, and technology-driven private security sector, capable of responding to Nigeria's evolving security landscape. Gloria Atta reporting for S24 Television.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Political Arena on S24 Television. As Nigeria prepare for the future election, one important caution remains. Are Nigerians ready to shape the country's future through ballot box? Millions of eligible citizens, especially young people, are yet to collect or use their permanent voters card, PVC. Today we will discuss on why every vote matters, why young people should participate in elections, and whether they collect their PVC can truly bring the change Nigeria desire. Joining us today on S24 Political Arena is Ambassador Ridwan Nasiruddin, a youth advocate and also a political analyst. Ambassador, welcome to Political Arena on S24.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, Saraki.
And it's a pleasure having you, Ambassador.
My most pleasure.
So, Ambassador, if I may ask, what is permanent voters card in a nutshell?
Permanent voters card is an official document issued by the electoral body to eligible citizens to carry out their franchise.
Thank you so much. And why do you think that is very, very important in democracy?
Well, we all know the meaning of democracy. Democracy is the government of the people, or by the people and for the people.
That was Abraham Lincoln's definition.
Abraham Lincoln's definition, definitely. So if democracy is the government of the people, then it means that the people are supposed to be involved in the government, thereby selecting who rules them, selecting who leads them, selecting who pilots the affairs of the country. And it is the right of every eligible citizen, emphasis on eligibility, that is a Nigerian that is above 18, to exercise his or her franchise, because the franchise is what is going to shape the future of the country.
In the next 6 to 7 months, Nigerians are going back to elect their own leaders, virtually from the president, governor, senate, and members of House of Representatives, and even State House of Representatives,
yes.
House of Assemblies. So why do you think that many Nigerians are yet to collect their own PVC?
Well, there are a lot of factors that
Can you mention few?
Yes. Lack of awareness.
Awareness.
Yes.
Then what is the work of the National Orientation Agency?
And that is why agencies like these have to step up their game.
I think also within the INEC, there is a department called Voter Awareness. There's a department that has a responsible mandate to do that.
Yes, it's called the VEB. Yes. So, first of all, lack of awareness is causing all of this. Sometimes relocation, sometimes voters' apathy is also part of it, because we have some Nigerians that they have voters' apathy. They are not interested. They'll be like, why do I want to vote when why do I want to vote?
They feel like their vote
does not count. That before election, there's selection. So lack of awareness, voter apathy, and also relocation are causes of people not getting their voters card. Because
Nasiruddin, if I may ask you again, why should every eligible Nigerian make an effort to get a permanent voters card?
Every Nigerian is supposed to get, like I said earlier, every Nigerian, most especially every Nigerian youth, because we are not the future leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders, and today is the day. Today was the yesterday we spoke about. So every Nigerian are expected to get a voter's card, because by selecting competent leader, you are making the present better and the future more even better.
Can a permanent voter card really change Nigeria? If yes, how?
Well, I wouldn't say voters card can change the country then, but it is for Nigerians to look among the various candidates to see whose policy is very much better, because all of these candidates are people who has ruled the country in one way or the other. Let's backdate. Let's go back. Let's see what they have done separately. Let's see who is very much competent to move the nation from where it is today to a better place. So voters card basically can't change, but voting right and having a better choice can change the Nigeria of today to a better one.
Okay, apart from voting, what roles should citizens play in strengthening democracy in our dear country, Nigeria?
Democracy is very much complex. It is not voting alone that strengthens democracy.
That is why I asked you, what other roles?
Yes, like involving in community engagement,
active participation,
paying your taxes when needed, paying your taxes, and also engaging in community alleviation programs.
You have been advocating for good governance.
Yes.
You're also a political commentator. So what are the consequences and what are the political, social, economic, and religious implications of people not participating in politics?
Well, I wouldn't state categorically you don't involve yourself. The government don't involve you. Just let's say for class of 100 pupils and just 27 vote for the class rep. This class rep can decide to do what he wants because he knows that a lot of people are not with him. So at the end of the day, those 63 people thereabouts cannot go and question the government. They can't request for credibility. They can't request for accountability. So if we don't involve, then we are hindering the development of the country.
So you mean participation actively in governance is very, very important
it's very,
for the development of a country.
It's very, very important.
So how can government, civil society organization, and media encourage more people, that is Nigerians, to obtain their permanent voters card before the election day?
It is very, very much interesting that we have a lot of content creators out there who are tirelessly making efforts to make sure that the Nigerian youths and the Nigerians entirely get their voters card. I wouldn't want to be mentioning names, but then unlike other election, this 2027 election is coming very much fully prepared because the social media is actively making sure.
We saw even Davido was making comments.
Davido was making comments.
That man was making comments. And even Hausa singer from Kano, Rarara, was making comments.
Too. So we need to get it because that is our only power. That is the power of a common man. That's the power of a common citizen. So we need to get involved. Now, according to statistics, the last election we have
that was 2023.
2023, we have 93 million registered voters. But at the end of the day, we had 27 million valid votes. So, and in Nigeria, we have about 65 million youths, that is from the age of 15 to 35. So, and about just 27% voted. It is this social media on its hand, civic society should try to create a platform that will elevate sensitization, because many Nigerians feel like their votes are not going to count.
You mean change begin with me and you?
Change begin with you and I.
Okay, due to the constraint of time, finally, what advice will you give Nigerians ahead of the next voter registration and election period?
I will advise Nigerians not to cause chaos. Let them make the election to be free and fair. But what is very much important is participation and involvement.
Another one, in 1 minute, can you tell Nigerians as a card, but a tool for shaping the country, Nigeria?
Yes. Many Nigerians should see voters card to be beyond identity card for registration of many other documents, because most people just feel like, let me just get a card and do my bank registration, do all of this. The voters card is your power.
It's beyond that.
It's beyond that. It's what you can use to change your own self and the child unborn. So Nigerians should try to get a voters card. Very, very much important. Vote rights. There shouldn't look religion, ethnicity, tribalism, and or bias, monetary inducement to be the reason to vote. Thank you so much.
That is Ambassador Ridwan Nasiruddin.
It's my pleasure.
Ambassador, thank you so much for speaking to us. And I believe Nigerians will see the light of the day and there is always light at the end of the tunnel.
Definitely.
It's a pleasure speaking to you here on S24, and thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much,
2027, as we already know, is the election that will decide the future of Nigerians, the election that will decide the future of you and I. We should vote wisely and make sure Nigeria continue to remain one, united, prosperous, and governable. Thank you. And this is where we draw the curtain of political arena here on S24 television. Thank you.
Nairobi wakes to another busy day. Streets buzz with life. Businesses open their doors, and thousands move through a city driven by commerce and opportunity. For many Kenyans, mitumba, second-hand clothing, is more than affordable fashion. It is a livelihood, a culture, and an essential part of everyday life. But every garment has a journey and eventually an ending. Just a few miles away from the busy market lies another side of the fashion industry. Mountains of discarded clothing continue to grow, transforming once useful garments into environmental burdens. Here, the hidden cost of overconsumption becomes impossible to ignore. Seeking to change how people think about waste, filmmaker Sally Nguri brings audiences together for the premiere of her documentary, The Afterlife of Waste. The screening is accompanied by an exhibition cycle of clothes. For Nguri, the film is about more than pollution. It is about inequality. It is about responsibility. And it is about asking difficult questions that many people have never considered.
I think waste reveals inequality in the society we live in. People who are really well off live in clean neighborhoods, while people who live beyond like minimum wage are the ones who live near dump sites.
Beyond the film, the exhibition transforms modern materials into powerful works of art, reminding visitors that waste is often a matter of perspective.
Daily habits, our environment, and not just for us now, but also future generations.
The exhibition encourages visitors to ask a simple question: what happens after we throw our clothes away? For many, that question changes everything.
A story has greater impact than just data. Today's presentation in story form appealed to the emotional side as well as the intellectual side of the audiences. Sometimes when you present a lot of data without a lived story behind it, you do not get people to take action. I think storytellers play a major role in provoking our conscious to look at life with an open mind and understand the different challenges we are facing without necessarily being confrontational or being very statistical.
The conversations continue long after the documentary ends. Every exhibit, every question, every discussion brings audiences closer to understanding the environmental consequences of everyday choices.
Now I'm thinking more on what we wear and where it ends up. Because when we talk about waste, we just purely think about what plastic bottles many a times and the wrappers on the streets, but no one thinks actually, once you throw your jacket or once you put out your shoes, where does it go? So it made me more conscious of now, where does your clothes end up and where do you get your clothes from?
As the credits roll, the story does not end. It follows every visitor home, into every wardrobe, into every purchase, and into every decision about what we choose to wear and what we choose to throw away, because the afterlife of waste begins with us.
I don't want them to live with answers. I want them to live with a lot of questions in regards to how their actions affect waste, how other people's actions affect waste, and how we can all work together to minimize overconsumption.
Security forces have recorded fresh gains in the fight against terrorism, kidnapping, and organized crime, with successful operations across Zamfara, Katsina, and Ondo states. Welcome to Security Update on S24 Television. I am Gloria Atta, bringing you stories making headlines in Nigeria's security landscape today. We begin in Zamfara State, where troops of Operation Fansan have foiled multiple terrorist attacks, killing a notorious terrorist commander and disrupting a planned large-scale assault through coordinated ground and air operations. Security sources say troops repelled attacks in Kaura Namoda local government area, where several terrorists were killed or injured. Among those neutralized was Alhaji Tukoro, a notorious commander and younger brother of wanted terrorist kingpin Alhaji Shehu Bagiwaye. In a separate operation, troops recovered a motorcycle after terrorists fled, while the Nigerian Air Force aircraft carried out precision strikes on an estimated 300 terrorists traveling on motorcycles, inflicting heavy casualties and preventing what authorities described as a major attack. In neighboring Katsina State, the Nigerian Army and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested 3 suspected drug suppliers accused of providing illicit substances to terrorists and other criminal groups. The suspects were arrested during a joint raid in Kagara village, Kafur local government area. Recovered items include suspected cannabis, tramadol, pregbalene, diazepam, and other intoxicants. The suspects have been handed over to the NDLEA for further investigation as security agencies intensify efforts to dismantle supply networks supporting criminal groups. And in Ondo State, police have killed 2 suspected kidnappers during a gun battle along the Akure-Owo Expressway. Officers responded to a distress call after armed men reportedly invaded a block industry in Iluapo. 2 suspects were killed while others escaped with suspected gunshot wounds. Investigations are ongoing while residents have been urged to report anyone with suspicious gunshot injuries. And these are some of the key security developments from across the country. Thank you for watching. I am Gloria Atta. Stay informed and stay safe.
Hello and welcome to Tech World Update, where we discuss technology, innovation, and digital world. I am Aisha Muhammad. Here's what's shaping ICT from Nigeria to the global stage. Today's ICT headlines are dominated by a landmark court ruling involving one of the world's biggest technology companies. Nigerians push for greater digital sovereignty through local data storage, renewed investments in digital identity infrastructure, Africa's continental AI ambitions, and the global impact of artificial intelligence on consumer technology prices. We begin in Nigeria, where a major court decision is expected to shape conversations around technology regulation and digital advertising. A federal high court in Lagos has nullified the 60 billion naira sanction previously imposed by the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, against Facebook Nigeria Operations Limited. The case stemmed from allegations relating to advertising regulation on the social media platform. However, the court's ruling now raised broader questions about the extent of regulatory authorities over global technology companies operating within Nigeria's digital economy. Legal analysts say the judgment could influence future policies governing online platforms, digital advertising, and the relationship between regulators and multinational tech firms. Away from the courtroom, Nigeria is also taking significant steps to strengthen control over its digital infrastructure. Following the Central Bank of Nigeria's directive, all financial institution and payment services provider to store domestic transaction data on local service, Galaxy Backbone is stepping up effort to outboard banks and fintech companies onto its government-backed digital infrastructure. The move is aimed at improving data sovereignty, enhancing cybersecurity, and ensuring sensitive financial information remains within Nigerians' borders. At the same time, the country's digital identity ecosystem is receiving a major upgrade. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has launched a comprehensive overhaul of the national identification number infrastructure after enrollment surpassed 136 million Nigerians. Officials say the upgrade will improve system performance, strengthen identity verification services, and support the growing demand for secure identification across both public and private sectors. Across Africa, the continent's artificial intelligence agenda continues to gain momentum. At the second meeting of Africa AI Council held at the International Telecommunication Union headquarters in Geneva, Kenya reaffirmed its commitment to develop cross-border computing infrastructure, harmonized data governance, and continent-wide AI talent development. The discussions reflect Africa's growing determination to build its own AI capacity rather than simply consuming technologies developed elsewhere. And finally, to the international stage, where the rapid growth of artificial intelligence is beginning to affect consumers directly. A global surge in demand for advanced semiconductor memory used to power AI systems has driven up manufacturing costs across the technology industry. The rising cost of these specialized chips is expected to increase the retail prices of computers, smartphones, and other digital devices produced by companies including Apple, Dell, and Asus. Industry experts say as AI infrastructure expands worldwide, supply chain pressures are increasingly felt by everyday consumers. And that's Tech World Updates, where innovation meets impact and the future stays in focus. Do stay with us, as after the break is entertainment news updates with Khadija Mohammed. Thank you and bye for now.
If celebrity drama born calories, we'll all have 6 packs by now. So this is your entertainment update for today, and I am Khadija Mohammed. And comedian Lege Miami's single matchmaking live show has come under heavy criticism after a clip showed a modestly dressed participant enduring a rude, dismissive interview on July 7, 2026. An Islamic scholar, Idris Aoni, shared the footage blaming mosques and churches for not offering practical marriage support, such as structured introduction, leaving singles vulnerable to public spectacles like this. And while some have defended the host style and pointed out that faith-based matchmaking option already exists, the backlash has ignited conversation about Nigerians' marriage challenges amid economic hardship and changing tradition. And from relationship wahala to settling what record. Because if love isn't making headlines today, trust me, music definitely is. A concert organized by Dapper Live and Artists has officially been recognized by Guinness World Record for assembling the largest orchestra ever for an Afrobeat performance. And the record-breaking event held in Lagos featured veteran Fuji stars including King Shahid Oshupa and KS1 Malaika alongside other performers, marking yet another major milestone for Nigerian music industry. And now, from breaking what record to breaking the internet, because social media has a PhD in turning rumors into trending topics. Taylor Swift and Travis are making headlines once again after details of their tightly controlled wedding invitation process emerged. Reports say each digital invitation was personalized with the recipient's name as a watermark to discourage leaks, while some guests were also required to sign non-disclosure agreements before receiving full event details. The strict measures have sparked widespread discussion online about celebrity privacy and high-profile weddings. And that's all the entertainment is making waves for today. Remember, in entertainment, today's rumor could be tomorrow's headline or just another social media workout. Until next time, keep smiling, keep streaming the good vibes, and don't let the drama find you, unless it's on your screen. I am Khadija Mohammed, and I will catch you in the next entertainment update. Coming up next is Sport News with Steven after the break.
Hello and welcome. We've got another action-packed sports update for you. Lionel Messi inspired an incredible World Cup comeback. Switzerland booked their place in the last 8 after a penalty shootout. Belgium suffered a huge injury blow. Tennis stars are preparing for international glory. Let's dive in. Argentina are through to the quarterfinals of the 2026 FIFA World Cup after an unbelievable 32 comeback win over Egypt. The defending champions look to be heading out of the tournament after Egypt raced into a 2-0 lead with just 11 minutes left to play through goals from Yasser Ibrahim and Mustafa Zico. But then came Lionel Messi. Cristiano Romero pulled one back with a header from Messi's perfect cross before the Argentine captain fired in a brilliant volley just 4 minutes later to level the match at 2-2. With extra times only seconds away, Enzo Fernandez headed home a dramatic stoppage time winner to complete one of the greatest comebacks of the tournament. Messi also missed the first half penalty, while Egypt had a goal ruled out by VAR in a game full of twists and drama. Argentina now move on to the quarterfinals with their title defense still alive. Next up, Switzerland have also reached the last 8 after beating Colombia 4-3 on penalties. Neither side could score after 120 minutes despite creating several chances, forcing the match into a tense shootout. The Swiss kept their composure from the spot to seal victory and will now face Argentina in a mouth-watering quarter-final clash. Away from football, 35 of Nigeria's bright young stars players are in camp at Babcock University ahead of 3 major African tournaments in Ghana and Guinea. The camp includes 18 girls and 17 boys between the ages of 9 and 19. Nigerian Table Tennis Federation President Adesoji Tayo praised Babcock University for providing excellent facilities, accommodation, nutrition, and medical support, saying the university could become the permanent training base for the country's national table tennis team. And finally, Belgium has suffered a massive setback ahead of their World Cup quarter-final against Spain. Midfielder Amadou Onana has been ruled out of the rest of the tournament after tearing his ACL in his right knee during Belgium's 4-1 win over the United States. The Aston Villa star will remain with the Belgian squad for now as plans for his treatment and recovery are finalized. His absence is a huge blow for the Belgium as they prepare for one of the biggest matches of the tournament. And that's your sports update for today. Which story impressed you the most? Argentina's incredible comeback, Switzerland's penalty shootout victory, or the rise of Nigerian young table tennis stars? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more sports news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Coming up next is PG News with Onye Shukra. Hello, Shukra.
How far, Stephen? Thank you for that better story where you just dropped. My people, how far, how na day? I bring una the ogbonge story where they happen for Nigeria and around the world. My name na Onye Shukra. Starts with the first matter. President Bola Tinubu don order the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, where we sabi as ICPC, make them investigate the fake Presidential Foreign Intervention Projects Council, where PLIPC people sabi as PFIPC. The presidency say the council no get approval, and they want public say make them no mind anybody where they claim say them they represent the group as investigators they work to catch those with the behind fraud. As that one said, they go on. The Director General of PFIPC, where they face wahala, don't promise they ain't ready to cooperate full-time with ICPC investigation. He talk say he no get skeleton for him cupboard and he no get anything to hide. And he don't promise to give investigators all the documents and information where they need as the probe they go on. Make we move from that story, make we enter the next one. For inside another story, the Senate don't say the federal government make them start to rehabilitate and pardon Boko Haram fighters and other criminals. Them say they don't repent. Lawmakers argue say anybody where they catch for that terrorism matter suppose they face the law instead to they bring them back into the society. As them say this one go help make security strong and make people trust the justice system. Now waiting Senate they talk with that so but inside another story for him, the ICPC don't also arrest Professor Bello Abubakar, will be personal doctor to former Kaduna State Governor El Rufai over allegations say he use hospital meeting to arrange secret political meeting. The commission alleged say the doctor lie about waiting they happen for visit while investigation they continue. Now we go leave Nigeria, go Obodo Ibo. For Obodo Ibo matter, while I don't dey serious, so for Middle East as United States and Iran exchange fire after attacks on 3 commercial ships for Strait of Hormuz. This matter don't make regional security, global oil supplies, and safety for one of the busiest shipping routes for world make it a face big wahala. And I hear we go stop the news today. This one na S24 PJ. Make una dey safe. We go see una later.
Thank you so much, Shukra, for that version of our news. With these, we've come to the end of S24 News Rundown. Do join us tomorrow, same time, as you follow us on all our social media platforms at S24 Television. My name is Zainab Ibrahim. Do have a lovely day.